A column of Empire soldiers plies the coastal road to Gallea. It has been weeks since these men fought at Villa Consorta. The road is long, and they are shadowed by greenskin raiders. Warlord Gashbad's fleet of derelicts is on the move. It is clear now that the greenskins will reach the port city by sea, before the men can return in defense. The port defenses are strong, but without men to man the battlements, they are little more than a high wall. There is but one last chance to save the city. The Gallean frigates refitted to evacuate the peoples of the colony are pressed into service once more, led by the famous Commodorian flagship, Cassius, and flanked by such venerable vessels as the Stalwart Dwarf and the dual frigates, the Big and Little Sisters. But the Greenskins have a battle line equal to the task. Notorious vessels among their ranks, the Grotnaut, Tallboy, Porkhide, and Warlord Gashbad's personal pleasure brig, the Leatherface. Each of these rotten hulks has pirated the coast for decades. They are as deadly as they are fearsome. In sight of the black shores, the remnant Empire fleet converges. But a fierce crosswind whips the battlefield. Neither fleet has the advantage of the wind. And the Empire cannot wait. Should they let slip this moment, the Greenskins will land at Gallea, and the city will fall. The Greenskins care not for the tactical advantage, choosing to plow straight into the Empire fleet. Their advance is predictable, ill-disciplined and shoddy in their eagerness for battle. But the wily Porkhide breaks off from the group, in search of its own wayward prey. The Empire line runs with the wind, but discipline is the order of the day. They must maintain their formation, timing their cannonades and covering the field. The Greenskins are undaunted. For these brutal creatures, this is a way of life. Each moment spent yearning for the fight is a moment well spent indeed. The Greenskins are hungry. Their line is solid. The Empire fleet divides, running with the wind while the Cassius works a high starboard tack. The Empire flagship runs alone, aiming to blunt the Greenskin spearhead. The Empire bravado heads off the Greenskin advance, with the Greenskins' largest vessels hauling into the wind, readying for a close-range assault. Meanwhile, the Porkhide continues to stalk the outfield. In the center of the field, the Tallboy looses the first volley of the engagement. Downwind, the Empire Little Sister is a prime target, but avoids the wildly placed shots. The Cassius runs its steady course high across the bows of the Greenskin Forerunners. Its gunnery crews ready their aim. Behind, the Big Sister bears away, bringing about her starboard broadsides to enfilade the Tallboy in turn. In the outfield, the remaining Empire ships are in danger of being blown off the battlefield by the whims of the wind, adjusting their course to cover the advance of the skulking Porkhide. The thunder of cannon pulses from the center, as both the Cassius and Big Sister open fire. The Tallboy is caught in the crossfire, but wrenches to port, with shots from the Cassius glancing off its bow. The galleys of the Big Sister fare better at optimum range, the shots flying low and punching through the Tallboy's hull into its magazine. The powder detonates, flames engulfing the vessel, and the shockwave blasting every other ship nearby. The Cassius pulls hard to starboard, barely evading the conflagration. The Leatherface's sails catch fire, and its crew are showered in embers. The rigging gives way, and as the flaming tallboy sinks beneath the briny sheen, the greenskin flagship rounds to windward, out of control. A hole has been blown in the greenskin fleet, with wreckage choking the center of the battlefield. The Porkhide seizes its moment, swooping in for the leftovers, while the crew of the Leatherface regain their wits and pull their remaining canvas taut, wresting control of their vessel from the winds of fate. The Grotnaut comes alongside the recoiling Cassius. The men of the Empire can practically see the reds of the greenskins' eyes at this close range. This is the kind of warfare all seafaring greenskins relish. The broadside makes contact, splinters shearing in every direction. The hull of the Cassius is strong, deflecting 2 of the 3 impacts, but 1 ball strikes true, killing a gunnery crew, dislodging a pound mortar, and firing the gun deck from prow to stern. The ship splits apart, and every man aboard is instantly killed. The Grotnaut weathers the explosion. Its crew cries havoc in the victory of their slaughter. As the smoke clears, mere remnants of the Cassius can be seen scattered over the dark waters. The Empire is undaunted. The Big Sister brings the ironed Leatherface up to its gunwales, while its sibling and the dwarf come about to meet the Porkhide. The Big Sister fires upon the Leatherface, almost raking the greenskin flagship's stern. The masts are sheared, and the hull is stoved. The chasmus deep opens, and the Leatherface meets its maker. A reef of wrecks has cut the battlefield in 2, but the greenskins are now poised to strike. The Grotnaut heaves to, smashing through the shattered remains of its flagship's wreck, and taking aim at the Big Sister. But the diminutive greenskin ship may lose its chance, as the Porkhide closes to board. Unwilling to let the Porkhide steal its prize, the Grotnaut opens fire, even as its ally moves into position. The Big Sister is sundered, its magazine spilling flames into the sea. Even as the Porkhide itself lets loose its galleys, the blast pushes her to port, scattering the shot through the already flaming debris. The Little Sister is also caught in the blast, her captain, quartermaster, and first mate all killed, and her rudder sheared away. As the hulk of her elder sibling sinks beneath the waves, the Little Sister founders and lists, catching the dwarf in its rigging, and threatening to drag both vessels to the deep. The crew of the dwarf cut free the foundering Little Sister, damming its crew, and wrenching themselves to windward to effect repairs. It is a catastrophe unheard of. 2 mighty ships of the Empire, destroyed in a single volley. Half the Empire fleet, erased from the record in an instant, with a 3rd ship disabled, and drifting at the mercy of the winds. The dwarf desperately rallies its deck crews, but the damage is beyond salvage at sea. She must dry dock, if she ever wishes to sail again. And so, as the greenskins set to looting the remnant wreckage of the battle, the dwarf drifts silently away. The battle is done. The greenskins claim victory. But their lust for booty may take its toll, as a single Empire ship returns to Gallea. One lone vessel against the tide. A final thread of hope, upon the waves of an ocean ever more steeped in darkness and doom. For these are the ways of the world these days, the ways of the world of old. If you like these narrative battle reports, why not subscribe for more? And if you want to be involved, support the Patreon for community perks and additional content. You can even download and print the miniatures yourself. links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.